Catholic, Gary Ball with Justin Cheatham and William Warfield tonight. We're simulcasting again on PrepSpin, so you can watch the game on PrepSpin.com in high definition. Listen to the radio broadcast on WVLK. Coach Cheatham, LCA and Catholic, huge game. The 43rd District #1 seed's on the line tonight.
Gary, that's exactly right. Both teams coming to this game 5-2 in the 43rd District, and tonight we decide who's the #1 seed going into the district tournament. But whatever happens tonight, there's a lot of basketball yet to be played. Even after tonight, Lexington Catholic has 3 ball games before the district tournament even begins.
And they're retiring the jersey of a outstanding player, Demetrius Green. He played back about 12 years ago and had a game where he put up 52 points, still a record here at Lexington Catholic. So they're retiring the jersey of Demetrius Green. And there's a player going tonight by the name of Tanner Johnson, young man for Catholic. He's coming off a 43-point effort against Madison Central a couple of nights ago.
That's no small effort there from Tanner, and he can certainly put those kind of numbers up the way he shoots. And we saw it in the Traditional Bank Classic. We saw it when they played LCA on January 6th. Tanner Johnson, when he gets hot, he can shoot you out of the gym, and that's exactly what he did to Madison Central.
Matt Rose comes in, the superstar for LCA. Matt is averaging about 23 points a game, one of the leading scorers in the 11th region. Looks like it's going to be a real battle between Matt Rose and Darius Williams at Dunbar for the 11th region scoring crown. There's only about a half a point separating them right now.
Yeah, 2 excellent players, and Matt Rose coming into this season, a lot of high expectations, and Matt has lived up to those expectations, and it should be an exciting matchup tonight, seeing him going up against Tanner Johnson.
And Drew Trimble has really come alive lately, the outstanding 6'8 senior for LCA. He's got his averages up to about 10 points a game now, 6 rebounds, big 6'8 Drew Trimble. And I'll tell you what, Kyle Rode had a nice game, the 8th grader. He had 15 points the other night against a good Madison Central team, and you've got some numbers right there in front of you, Coach.
Yeah, well, Gary, back on January 6th, these 2 teams met at Lexington Christian, and we did that game. Matt Rose was led all scorers with 19 points, but like you said, Drew Trimble was second in scoring with 12 points. And you're right, Trey King came off the bench in that game and was a huge spark, and could certainly be a spark tonight to help get LCA to the win.
Both teams come in with 18 wins. Both teams come in ranked in the almost every poll you look at. The Courier-Journal Litkin House, the Cantrell out of the Herald Leader, the Bluegrass Preps poll. Almost every poll you look at, Coach, has these 2 teams as top 20 teams. In some polls, Catholic is as high as number 8 in the state, so that's the respect they get probably for their strength of schedule.
Well, you and I have seen both of these teams on multiple occasions. We've seen them face off on January 6th. And it rightfully so. They're both well-coached, very disciplined basketball teams who can do so many things well.
They retired the jersey of Demetrius Green. We'll step out when we come back here on PrepSpin and WVLK. We have the starting lineups and the tip. It's LCA and Catholic. Big backyard rivalry here at the Buter Gymnasium in front of a nice crowd. We'll come back here tonight on WVLK and PrepSpin.
Central banks around the world are actively buying gold, including Russia, which recently increased its gold holding to 19 tons. In periods of uncertainty, people often acquire gold
Terry Murphy producing back at WVLK. Simulcasting again tonight on WVLK and PrepSpin. You can go to WVLKAM.com or PrepSpin.com if you want to watch and listen to the broadcast. You know, one guy that we cannot forget about when you talk about Lexington Catholic, Jared Griffin. I think he will be huge in this game tonight. The young man is so talented. He's got such athletic ability, and I think Jared Griffin's going to be huge in this game tonight.
Well, what we've seen in Lexington Catholic's loss here in the Traditional Bank Classic is when Tanner Johnson is cold, somebody else has to step it up. And Jared Griffin is the player that can do that. And just watching him warm up behind the arc during the warm-up session, I mean, he was knocking him down, looks ready to play.
Gary Ball with Justin Cheatham, the former Tage Creek basketball coach, and also William Warfield tonight, Terry Murphy. Let's take a look at the starting lineups tonight. First for the visitors on the scoreboard, that would be the Eagles of Lexington Christian Academy, coached by Nate Valentine. They will start tonight. Drew Trimble, a 6'8 senior. It'll be Matt Rose, a 6'7 senior, averaging 23 points, 10 rebounds a game. Kyle Rode, a 6'5 eighth grader. Benton Nybert, a 6'4 senior, and tonight it looks like John Stein is going to get the start. They had been starting Drew Schock, but look like Stein is going to get the start tonight, Coach. They kind of, transfix those two, Stein or Schock. They don't really lose a whole lot with either one.
They don't. Both very similar in their styles, and Stein gives them a little bit of more speed, I think. But should be a great start for Stein.
Lexington Catholic will counter with an all-senior lineup led by Michael Talbot, the point guard. And, Coach, you really like Talbot.
Talbot just owned Lexington Christian in the first matchup. He was a leading scorer at halftime. He had 8 points, and all 8 came from penetrating.
Yep.
I mean, he was getting to the rim at will. Just did an amazing job. Some fantastic spin moves that just got a lot of wows out of the crowd. So if Lexington Christian is going to improve upon that performance from January 6th, they have to stop the dribble penetration of Talbot.
And Jared Griffin, a 6'2 senior. He will start. It'll be Tanner Johnson, a 6'5 senior. Reese Ryan, the quarterback, and he's decided he's going to Western Kentucky with his football services and Walker Booth. It will be Booth against Matt Rose, and the tap is controlled by nobody but chased down by Nybert. Really, nobody got the tap. And they give it out top with it, and that is John Stein getting the start tonight. Stein has a way out top, hands it over to Kyle Rode. He circles, now comes back over to Nybert. Lost it for a moment. In the middle, they go to Trimble at the free throw lane. He back over, kicks it to Nybert. Left side, right. Reese Ryan is guarding Kyle Rode. That's an interesting matchup, Coach.
That is an interesting matchup. Rode has a size advantage. It'll be interesting to see if they go down low to Rode.
Stein over to Nybert, down low. Rhodes kind of got tangled down low with his feet. Couldn't get to the pass. Booth, good defense. Turn it over, and it'll go to Lexington Catholic.
Good denial defense by Booth, and like you said, feet get tangled up. Ball goes back to Catholic.
Across the line, Talbot down the middle. As Coach Cheatham said, he was outstanding in the first game at LCA about 3 weeks ago. Here's a shot by Ryan, a three-pointer, good. Boy, Reese Ryan knocks down an early three, and it's 3-0 Catholic. Good start for Reese Ryan and the Knights.
If you're going to be that wide open, you're going to take it. Reese Ryan left wide open on the left wing, knocks down the three.
Catholic coming with that full court press, high pass to Nybert from Kyle Rode, out top to Stein, back over now to Rode, and in the middle Trimble, and Rose with it, 15-footer, no good. Nybert gets a rebound, hooks it off glass, no. Tapped around, Nybert and Trimble battles for it. Out top Stein, he launches the three, bullseye.
Gary, that's 2 offensive rebounds for LCA. You give them 3 opportunities, they'll make you pay. That's exactly what happens, 3-3.
Talbot with that shot to the basket as he drove, kind of like Coach Cheatham was talking about in the first meeting. The basket won't go for him, but he draws the foul.
Well, and that's what Stein gives you, a little bit quicker defender, and is able to stay between Talbot and the basket. Keeps Talbot from getting to the rim. Of course, he has to foul, and Talbot's going to the free throw line.
Foul went on Trimble, his first at the line. Talbot, a good free throw shooter in the 70% range, and we say that, what do we do with jinxing? I guess every time a radio guy says a guy's a good free throw shooter, you can pretty much bet he's going to miss it.
It happens 90% of the time, doesn't it?
Unbelievable. Here's Talbot's second one. He's 50% on that trip.
But it's better than saying, wow, this kid's a terrible free throw
exactly.
shooter. You don't want to do
we
that.
We wouldn't do that on radio.
That's right.
4-3 ball game now. The Knights with a 1-point lead. It started with Ryan's three, and as Rose trying to pass it off, he's fouled on a reach.
Well, good full court press execution there by Lexington Christian. Gets the ball to the middle to Rose. And kind of a touch foul there.
LCA in the blue and Catholic in the white with the blue. So these teams love blue, don't they, Coach?
It's all blue around here.
Stein kicks it back out to Kyle Rode, over to Matt Rose. And Rose is going to play for Samford next year in college. Here's Nybert lining up to three. Back of the rim, no. Battle for it. And coming Booth battling. Goes through the hands of Trimble. Picked up by Tanner Johnson. Here comes Tanner, that man Johnson. Lob down to Booth. Catch, waits, hangs, and throws it up. Won't go, but draws a foul. Good job by Walker Booth, just letting everybody slide by him there.
Well, it was a great unselfish play there by Tanner Johnson. He could have taken that three. He shot fake, gets it to Booth. Booth then just makes all the birdies fly and takes it up strong.
Walker will shoot two, the big senior center, and that one's short. Remember, the 43rd District gets underway at Tates Creek a week from Monday, February 23rd. We'll have complete 43rd District basketball right here on WVLK and PrepSpin. Looking forward to that, Coach, right over in the Tates Creek Nolan Barger Gymnasium. Missed both of them.
Well, Gary, you said earlier the winner of this game is the number one seed, and in any other district, you know, you want to be that number one seed, and of course you do here.
Kyle Rowe gets a lob, spinning, and off glass, knocks it down. That's not an 8th grade move right there. Can we now say officially Kyle Rowe has advanced beyond the 8th grade player?
Right. You don't call a kid like that an 8th grader. He's got the body of a senior in high school.
Yep.
That was a very confident, mature drop step move.
And Rowe gives the Eagles the first lead, 5-4, 5:41 to the basket. Talbot throws it up, no good. Booth with a good left-handed rebound. Kick it out top. Jared Griffin to three, off the mark, and rebounded by Matt Rose. And falling down, Nybert gets up a little gimpy, but hustles down floor anyway. Stein has got the big three. Kicks it over to Nybert. Launches the three. Bullseye. Nybert says, okay, I maybe hobble a little bit, but I can still knock down a three-point shot. And it's 8-4 Eagles.
Well, Gary, it started with the dribble penetration of Stein, and then he kicks it out to Nybert. Nybert again makes him pay. 8-4.
Jared Griffin looking over at Brandon Salzman, and LCA looks like they're packing in a zone right now.
They're going zone. They've done a good job right now stopping the dribble penetration of Talbot.
Reese Ryan, the first three wouldn't go. That one skips off the front of the iron, no good. And here come the Eagles. They hand it to Rose out top. Matt stops and pops way out front. Back of the rim, no. There's Trimble battling, and Kyle Rowe picks it up. Gives it back to a cutting Rose. Rose hanging there. Johnson, good defense. And we're going to have a bumping foul called on Tanner, that man Johnson.
Gary, back on January 6th, Lexington Catholic squeaked out a win versus LCA by 5 points. They were out-rebounded that night. Right now they're down 4-8. And they've given up 3 offensive rebounds.
Yeah, we've seen LCA really crash those offensive boards. Road fakes for the ball, goes to Rose. Here's Matt Rose, 15-footer, back of the rim, no. And rebounded by Jared Griffin. That's also what Griffin does for you, rebounds. Griffin down the lane. He's a lefty with the right hand, gives to Talbot, shovels it back. Johnson, a long three by Tanner. Back of the rim, no. Good box out by Stein. Did Booth go over his back? And let's see what the call is here. Did they catch Stein for that or Walker Booth? He called Stein for that, didn't they?
Called Stein. Boy, and Tanner Johnson just backed up and took a three from about, what was that?
NBA range.
At least NBA range. And with Matt Rose in your face, that's...
Griffin will launch the three. Skips off the iron and tracked down by Benton Nybert. Nybert gives it up to Stein, who's got 2 fouls now. Got to wonder at what point they'll get shocked in there. It goes over to Trimble. Trimble hanging. Trimble throws it up and he's fouled. I think Griffin got him flying through. Reese Ryan was playing some good belly-up defense, but Griffin came flying from the backside. I think that's who they called.
Right, Ryan had it. Trimble on the front. Trimble gives a great ball fake, sells it well, gets Jared Griffin in the air. And now Trimble will go to the free throw line.
And the foul was called on, actually they gave that to Reese Ryan.
But Gary, on the offensive end for LCA, the speed of Stein is enabling LCA to penetrate on Lexington Catholic, and then he's doing a really good job, is Stein, of finding his open teammates.
You mentioned his quicks is why he's getting the start, and he's showing them tonight. And Trimble with a good stroke at the line, hits them both. 10-4, LCA by 6. Coach, are you surprised at this great start? I guess I have to get back to what you said earlier. The offensive rebounding has been the difference for LCA.
It's been the difference. If you're going to give a team 2 and 3 tries on the offensive end, you're going to be lucky to come out with a win.
Griffin goes in on Nybert to the basket, reverses Noble, draws the foul, and Jared Griffin will go to the line and shoot a couple. And dare I say it, he's an outstanding free throw shooter at almost 80%.
He is, and what was tough about that is he's a lefty taking that dribble penetration drive from the right-hand side of the floor. So a tough angle, and but he gets to the rim and draws the foul, and he'll go to the line for 2.
If you're driving around tonight listening on WVLK 590, Gary Ball, Justin Cheatham, you can also go on your smartphone or your computer and watch it on PrepSpin.com, PrepSpin/YouTube. William Moorfield does a terrific job. Free throw, by the way, nailed there by Mr. Griffin. That's his first point. He got them both. 10-6 ball game, LCA by 4 with 4:05, Coach, here in the first quarter. They retired Demetrius Green's jersey tonight here at Catholic. Pass saved by Rode on the sideline. Looking down low, cut off by Tanner Johnson with the left hand. kicks it over to Benton Nyberg, goes to Matt Rose. He goes baseline, hanging, and it's blocked there by Donovan Morris. Stuck back up, rolls out by LCA, tapped out of bounds. Just checking in on me was J.J. Ogbugu, who just checked in for the Knights, and what a block there by Ogbugu. Donovan Morris not in the game yet.
Matt Rose drives baseline. Ogbugu gets up and puts it right back in his face.
Benton Nyberg looking for his second three. Off the front of the iron, no. Rebounded by Tanner Johnson.
Nyberg wide open, can't get it to fall. Tanner Johnson pulls down the board.
Jared Griffin looking down low, turn around Ogbugu. He threw it up a little bit too strong. Rebounded by Matt Rose. 10-6. Here's a bounce pass to Stein, cut off by Griffin, and Stein works it across the line as we look down here from our crow's nest. LCA going right to left on your radio dial. Tonight simulcasting on the WVLK and on PrepSpin. You can watch it on your computer. Hear the call of the game. Lob goes in the corner of the road, kicks it back to Nyberg, back out to Stein between the donuts. Stein now backs it back out with a left-hand dribble. Now pounds it down, comes over the right side. Free throw line extended to Reese Ryan. Kyle Rode, and he bounces it back to King, and he lays it up and in.
Gary, that was just patience on the part of Lexington Christian. They reverse the ball 3 times, finally penetrate, get the layup.
There's a three-pointer, knocked down, a deep three by Ogbugu.
Ogbugu misses the layup. In fact, he airballs the layup. He knocks down the three, though.
Makes it 12-9 with 2:40 to go in the first quarter. Bounce past Ogbugu. Back it goes. Kyle Rode slicing through, lays it up and in. Kyle Rode makes it 14-9. LCA by 5 with 2:27 here in the first quarter of action from the Buter Gymnasium on the campus of Lexington Catholic. Big 43rd District showdown tonight. Here's Johnson into the basket, rolls it in. Tough shot by Johnson. His first field goal is coming off 43 points Tuesday night against Madison Central in Richmond, Kentucky.
Tanner Johnson just attacks the seam of the LCA zone, gets to about 6 feet and knocks down the J.
14-11. Matt Rose with a spin move, scoop roll, good. Nice move there by Rose.
Well, that all started by Kyle Rode with a left hand behind the back pass to feed Rose.
Makes it 16-11. What a ball game here tonight, Coach.
This is going to be a good one. Playing for the number 1 seed.
Playing for that, what's that get you a bye? Here's the shot by Griffin. No, you got 5 teams in that 43rd, and
right, the number 1 seed will play Wednesday night versus the winner of the 4-5.
Gotcha. And that will be played at Tates Creek High School's Nolan Barger Gymnasium beginning Monday, February 23rd. Here's Nyberg, a 15-footer, in and out. And King got a hand on it. And let's see, did he also get a hand on Ogbugu? Somebody knocked Ogbugu to the ground.
Yeah, they're going to call that on King. Crashing the boards, just a little bit too aggressive was King right there. Picks up his first foul. But you've got to admire the aggressiveness and the intensity by LCA, crashing those boards, going for those offensive rebounds.
And into the game for LCA will be Joe Davis. He checked in. We mentioned King in there as well. And we'll see Donovan Morris has checked in for the Knights of Catholic. And he has the ball between the legs, gets a rise from the crowd, and throws it up. No good, rebounded by Matt Rose. Minute 3 to go, 16-11. Eagles by 5, leading Lexington Catholic here tonight at the Buter Gymnasium. Nice crowd in here, Coach.
Excellent crowd. I had to park at LCA and walk over.
Which isn't that far, by the way.
Not that far.
About a mile. Here's Rose lining up the 3. Off the front of the iron, no, rebounded by Davis. Good job by Davis to keep it alive, and that's another offensive rebound there for LCA. Trimble down low to King. Kicks it back, Davis. He can hit the 3, and that one's off the mark, though. Rebounded. Coming down with it is Donovan Morris. Morris angles toward the left side with a dribble. Now puts it between his legs, hands it back to Jared Griffin out top. Coach Salzman wanting Tanner Johnson to come out a little bit further. Down to 24 seconds here in the first period with LCA leading 16-11 over Lexington Catholic. Both teams ranked and both teams looking to win this 43rd District number 1 seed with the win here tonight. 5-2 coming in the district? Is that right, Coach?
Both teams 5-2.
That's Donovan Morris. Back it goes to Tanner. Here's a long 25-footer off front of the iron, a little bit out of his range. Tracked down, picked up by Morris. Morris and a shot banked in at the first quarter buzzer there. Big shot by Morris. Banks it in, and we head to the second quarter, and it's Lexington Christian Academy 16, Lexington Catholic 13 in a battle for the 43rd District number 1 seed. We'll return into the Buter Gymnasium on PrepSpin and WVLK, and we want to thank Rafferty's Restaurants. Rafferty's with as special as you.
This is it. You waited until the last minute. Valentine's Day is just around the corner. Now, if you're thinking to yourself, oh, crap, then you need to order flowers right now. Pro Flowers is going to make you look like you planned it all out in advance. 2 dozen long stem assorted roses with a free glass vase and gourmet chocolates for only $39.99. Go to proflowers.com and use my code MARK. Pro Flowers is quick, easy, and delivery on Valentine's Day is guaranteed. Roses will be selling out everywhere. So take advantage of this deal while you still can. Pro Flowers are guaranteed to last 7 days or your money back. That's a no-brainer. Here's the only way to get this amazing Valentine's Day deal. Visit ProFlowers and Mark. That's proflowers.com. Click on the microphone and type in my code MARK. Order today. This deal expires Friday or while supplies last.
News Talk 590 WVLK.
William Warfield producing here on PrepSpin and Terry Murphy producing WVLK. Gary Ball, Justin Cheatham back here at the Buter Gymnasium. 43rd District title on the line. Shot for Johnson won't go, but he draws the foul. As we head to the second period, Coach, 16-13. I'm looking at some scoring, very balanced. Cal Road had 4 for LCA in the first period. 3-pointer by Nybird, a bucket by Rose, bucket by King. 3-pointer by John Stein, a couple free throws by Trimble. And, of course, Akbugu hitting that big 3 for Catholic in that first quarter. That was a big 3, I think.
That was a huge 3, and that was a big rebound there, offensive rebound by Morris to end the first quarter and knock down the jumper. It cuts it to a 4-point game, and now Lexington Catholic gets the first possession, and we got a 2-point ball game.
Tanner got 1 of 2. He's got 3 points now. That's 16-14. The lead for LCA, 2 points. Stein in backcourt with Joe Davis. Works into front court, and he's going to be grabbed as he worked it across the 10-second line. And let's check the lineups for you. It's Stein, Rose, Nybert, Davis, and Trimble for LCA. Morris, Akbugu, Jared Griffin, and coming into the game is Peter Whitman, a sophomore. Is in their first time we've seen Whitman, along with Tanner Johnson for Catholic. Nybert looking down low for Rose. Good defense by Whitman. Now they hand it back to Joe Davis for LCA out top. He's working there on Akbugu. Davis over to Rose, thought about it, goes in on Whitman, and the travel call there on Matt Rose. He tried to work it down the left baseline.
Coach Salzman's going to a faster Lexington Catholic lineup, putting more pressure now on the defensive end, and it pays off right there. Rose tries to go baseline, travels, ball goes back to Lexington Catholic. And Gary, I don't read lips well, but I think Coach Salzman used the word rebound 15 times during that break.
Michael Talbot back in with Reese Ryan for the Knights, along with Donovan Morris. He's got the ball out top. Over to Michael Talbot with Whitman in there. They look now to Reese Ryan. Down low they go to Johnson. He works in on Rose. Johnson hanging off glass and knocks it down. Boy, tough shot there with Rose hanging all over him.
Rose all over him, been all over him all night. Tanner Johnson posts him up, makes a great move, and could have gone to the line for the N1 right there.
We are tied at 16 here. Tied at 16, and working across is Lexington Christian. That's Stein with it. Stein gives it back out to Nybert. Nybert working with it. 6:35 to go in the first half. And a reaching foul call, Coach. Foul went on Morris, I believe.
Right, Morris, a little bit too much pressure there on Stein. Stein doing a great job of handling the ball tonight.
LCA will have it. We're tied at 16. 6:34 to go in the first half here at the Buter Gymnasium campus of Lexington Catholic, just off Clays Mill Road. Out top to Stein for LCA. I think they probably jogged over here to the game, didn't they?
They probably did.
Just got to go down Clays Mill, hanging left if you go to LCA from here. About a mile away. Down low it goes now. Rose hanging and off the glass and knocks it down. Matt Rose in traffic. That's where Rose is so good, Coach. It doesn't matter how many defenders are there. Doesn't seem to alter his shot at all. Matt Rose with his second basket.
Well, and it's like coming out of the quarter, both coaches drew up the exact same play. Both attack on the left post with their stars.
18-16, Rose gives the lead back to the Eagles. Ryan wide open. Reese will fire it. Off the back of the rim, no. There's Whitman battling, but Johnson's got it. Baseline cut off, reverses, no. Pulled out of there by Trimble. Tanner that time just caught a little bit too underneath the basket too far. Stein, good wraparound dribble. Hands it back to Trimble. Over to Nybert. Benton bounces now back to Trimble. He looks to Stein, and Stein looks over Coach Valentine on the bench there. 5:32 in the first half, 18-16. Trimble out top to Nybert. Nybert back over to Trimble. kicks it back to Benton, bobbles it for a moment, picks it up in front of there defensively, Talbot. They go to Davis. Davis right side, getting it from the Catholic fans over there, isn't he, Coach?
He sure is. Lexington Catholic has really picked up their defensive intensity this quarter.
18-16, 5:13 to go. Here's Nybert, thought about the three, down low, Stein wide open, hangs off glass, good.
Boy, but to LCA's credit, they weren't rattled at all. They had that possession for almost a minute. They reversed the ball multiple times, and what do you end up getting? A mistake by the defender and a layup.
And an easy layup at that.
Right.
20-16 on the Stein lay-in, 4:52 to go. LCA by 4. Catholics, Michael Talbot, the senior, goes over to Reese Ryan. Down low, Johnson knocked away, and we're going to have a foul over the back. I think Matt Rose came over the back of him a little bit too much for the official, who was right on top of him.
Coming out in the first quarter, Tanner Johnson played a lot behind the arc. Can't get open behind the three-point line so far tonight, so he's playing a lot on the baseline. Comes off a screen right there, and Matt Rose gets a hand in there, but a little bit on the arm, so Tanner Johnson will go to the free throw line.
We're going to have some wholesale substitutions for both ball clubs. Walker Booth and Jared Griffin back in for Catholic. And looks like Drew Shockton back in for LCA along with Kyle Rode. Thanks to our producers tonight, William Warfield on PrepSpin and Terry Murphy on WVLK. Simulcasting again tonight. If you're driving around town, don't forget, you can watch it on your smartphone, PrepSpin.com as well. So and check out that high definition. We got cameras everywhere tonight.
It's a nice setup.
20-18. Both free throws connected, cuts it to 2. 4:42 down the lane. Rose wide open. Trimble hanging and fouled there by Walker Booth. He hung up in the air, had to switch over to the left-handed. Did the young man Trimble, but the foul's going to be called on Booth. Drew Trimble will shoot a couple for the Eagles. Big 6'8". Drew Trimble. You know, I think there's a college for this young man somewhere, don't you, if he wants to play at the next level?
Certainly think so. He moves well up and down the court. You saw him run the floor right there against the Lexington Catholic press.
And he's got a nice stroke, obviously. He's hit 4 or 4 at the line. He can stroke it at the free throw line. 22-18, good ball game. LCA by 4. Leading Catholic here for the number 1 seed in the 43rd district. The winner gets that. Ball knocked away. Good hands. Nice hands by Shock there. Here comes Kyle Rode with it. Rode has it knocked away by Griffin. Good hands by Jared. Griffin working on Shock. Griffin down the lane, off glass, blocked away by Rose, and that's going to be goaltending, I believe. Yep, they're going to count the basket.
Well, Jared Griffin, great defense, great ball handling, crosses over the defender twice, takes it up high off the glass. Matt Rose tries to go up and get it, but ball was on its way down, so that's goaltending. Long
pass to Benton Nybert. Down the left side, he's looking, needs some help, skips it over to Rode right side. He goes now to Trimble, working it on Booth. Kicks it out to Drew Shock. 4:07 to go. First half, 22-20. LCA by 2. They have lead in leather. Ball stripped away, stolen by Johnson. Here comes Tanner, that man Johnson. Right side, dumps it down to Booth. Knocked away, picked out of there by Trimble.
Great defensive play there by Tanner Johnson, and then just really bad pass there on the offensive end. Just gave it right back to the blue jerseys.
Drew Shock, the senior, works it across for the Eagles. Looking at the zone, but Catholic hands it to Trimble out top. Back over to Shock. 3:37 to go, first half. 22-20, LCA by 2. What's been their biggest lead, Coach? 6, I believe?
Been a 6-point lead in the first quarter, yeah.
Timeout by Coach Valentine, and LCA timeout on the floor. I want to thank Rafferty's Restaurants here. Rafferty's Restaurants with as special as you. And, of course, all the sponsors on PrepSpin as well. William has a bunch of them, so we'll mention those as well. But I want to thank Terry Murphy. He is producing at WVLK. Also want to thank Crown Trophy. And it's 22-20 right here, Coach. We'll keep it here as it's only a 30-second timeout. And remind you that it's 22-20, LCA leading Lexington Catholic. And Tanner Johnson has 7 points for Catholic as their leading scorer. Trimble has 4, Matt Rose 4, Kyle Rode with 4, Stein with 5.
LCA is doing a great job on Tanner Johnson so far, Gary. They're changing their defense around. They're handling the Lexington Catholic press. They're out-rebounding Lexington Catholic. And still it's a 2-point game because Lexington Catholic is a great basketball team. So, you know, this is anybody's game. It'll be this way all night long.
Does this kind of tell you what the 43rd District Tournament's going to be like?
You know, it really is. You be the number 1 seed, and that's an accomplishment, but your reward is you're going to play another team that, you know, has every chance of beating you. There's no easy games.
In the corner goes, and that three-pointer will go by Rode and pulled over by Griffin. He pulled it away from Matt Rose, came right over top of the big fella. to Jared Griffin. We said we thought he'd be huge tonight. Griffin the right side, throws it up, no. There's Walker Booth battling, shocked with it. Booth hitting the floor, and I think he's going to be bumped there by Shock.
That's a great hustle there by Booth, getting on the floor after the ball. Lexington Christian boxes out well, but no one goes and gets the ball. Booth goes and gets it, gets fouled. Now he'll go to the free throw line. And really the difference in this game is what's gotten Lexington Catholic right back in it is their free throw shooting.
22-20, and at the line will be Walker Booth. He missed his last trip up there. He's 0 for 3 there tonight. So Booth 0 for 3 at the line, rebounded by Rose, and here comes LCA under 3 minutes to go. Long pass to Rode. Rode hands it back to Shock, back to Cal Rode, and he did not make it across in 10 seconds, and that was a pretty quick 10.
Well, a great coaching adjustment there by Coach Salzman. He transitions into a 2-2-1 3-quarter court press. It surprised Lexington Christian a little bit, and a little bit too slow. 10-second count.
Talbot very slowly, methodically comes across the line. Now hands it to Ryan, right side, back out top. Tanner Johnson lets a three fly, won't go off the mark, and rebounded by Shock. Here comes Drew. Kicks it over now to Rode, deep on the right side. Rode dribbles, now lobs it back to Shock, and he fakes with the ball, and Coach Saul's telling Jared Griffin to get after him, but he is. Over to Rode, right side, free throw line extended, gets a pick from Rose. Back over to Shock, looking down low, back out top of Rode, top of the circle. Swing it back around to Drew Shock with 2:19 to go and 22-20. Over goes Benton Nybert, launches a three. Back of the rim, no. Rebounded by Trimble, offensive glass. Trimble turns and scores.
There it is again, Gary. Another offensive rebound that leads to 2 points for Lexington Christian. 20-24 LCA.
Trimble's done a great job on the offensive glass. He's got 6 points now. Remember, he's hit 4 of 4 at the free throw line as the big fella, 6'8 senior. 24-20 on the Trimble stick back. Minute 52 in the first half. Johnson's going to be fouled by Drew Shock, and Shock's going to pick up a couple of quick ones.
Shot defending Tanner Johnson in the open court. Tanner, you can obviously see he's trying to use his dribble to gain some space to take a three. Can't get that space, but gets the foul and goes to the free throw line.
Minute 50 to go in the first half, and it's 24-20 at the line will be Tanner That Man Johnson. I believe that's his Twitter handle, Tanner That Man.
That man.
He is the man. And he can shoot free throws. He has hit his last 3. He's got the total now of 8 points.
Anyone that can put up 43 points in a basketball game.
And he can do it in bunches, Coach. I mean, he can have 10, and all of a sudden you look up, he's got 30. He missed the second one. 24-21, LCA by 3 and the basketball going right to left. Gary Ball, Justin Cheatham, William Warfield, and Terry Murphy. We're simulcasting tonight on WVLK 590 and PrepSpin.com. If you want to watch it, listen to the radio broadcast on PrepSpin.com. With it is Rode. He hands it back to Rose, to Nybert, over to Trimble. Trimble now faces up on Reese Ryan. Between his legs, puts down the dribble, hands it back to Kyle Rode, and Rode now gives it back to Shock. Nick Valentine calling out the play over there, and I think Shock got it, didn't he?
He sure did.
Spinning like a top, gives it to Trimble. LCA being very deliberate here. Trimble to the basket and throws it up and in. He will get the soup, and the sandwich foul be called on R² Reese Ryan.
Well, Gary, that's the second time this quarter where LCA has faced just a tenacious Lexington Catholic defense, but they have not panicked and they haven't forced anything. And right there, they're patient again. Trimble gets inside, knocks it down, and converts on the free throw. So we're back to the LCA's biggest lead of 6.
DT, by the way, now has 9 points. Nybert out of the ball game, and Joe Davis in for Coach Valentine. A minute to go, 27-21, LCA by 6. Reese Ryan, who started out the game knocking down a 3. Here's Johnson. Here's a deep 3 by Tanner. Back of the rim, no. Shock with a good box out there on Ogbugu.
You better box out Ogbugu because he can jump out of the gym.
LCA the lead in leather, going right to left in their blue uniforms as you're watching on PrepSpin. Catholic in the white. Here's a bump, a little bit too much contact there for Tanner Johnson. I don't think he'd like to call, but he's picked up his second.
You can bet with 36 seconds to go, Nate Valentine wants to get layups, free throws, or the last second shot. Right there, they get Kyle Rode back to the free throw line.
Kyle Rode, normally a pretty good free throw shooter, and he is there. Rode with 5 points now. 6'5", and one of the up-and-coming superstars in the 11th region. Got them both.
it's hard to imagine we'll be saying his name for 4 more years.
That's
because
right.
he looks
That's
like
right.
a junior or a senior out there
he
right
is
now.
put together. They list him at 6'5", and I would venture to guess he probably weighs about 190, 200 pounds.
Yep.
Maybe in that range. Here is Ogbuga's three, skips off the iron, no. And long rebound tracked down by Shock. And Coach Valentine saying, one shot, guys, one shot. We got a 8-point lead in the ball. 29-21, biggest lead for the Eagles, and they got the ball with 10 seconds. Shock thought about it, goes to Rode. Rode slices down. Out top, Matt Rose launches the three, and that skips off the rim, rebounded by Ryan. He's going to throw it up the three-quarter court, and it won't go. That's the half, and a good half for LCA. Good job on the offensive boards as well, Coach. We'll get the stats at halftime, but I think the big difference in this game has been the offensive board work of LCA.
It certainly has, and we heard Coach Salzman screaming it at the end of the first quarter. You've got to rebound the ball, rebound the ball. They did a little bit better. Lexington Cadillac picked up their defensive intensity, but to LCA's credit, they were patient and broke down the defense every possession and got either a good look or got to the free throw line.
We're at halftime. It's 29-21. The lead is for LCA, leading Lexington Catholic, and we'll return with halftime. Back in WVLK downtown Lexington. William Warfield producing here on PrepSpin. We're broadcasting, simulcasting tonight, WVLK and PrepSpin. We've done that a number of times this year. Enjoy that. We want to continue that, and we're going to continue that in the district and the 11th region tournament. That, by the way, is going to be played at Eastern Kentucky University this year over in Richmond, and the 43rd district that we'll cover here on PrepSpin at WVLK will be broadcast from Tates Creek High School, the side of the 43rd. Tonight I want to thank, of course, Rafferty's Restaurants. Also, we want to thank Crown Trophy and all of our sponsors. And for William, we got, of course, All Sports. Stay in the game there at All Sports. Also, we want to thank Van Meter Insurance, Bluegrass Orthopedics, Kentucky One Health, James Comer for governor at 15, Julie Hill with Zija, and I believe Robbie Davis as well. Thanks to Robbie Davis. And I want to give Robbie Davis a special shout-out for the love he gave us for the All-A. I really enjoyed working with William, and and also Mr. Horn over there. We did the Newport Catholic game and LCA, and you did Clinton County over there as well in the All-A tournament. It's a great tournament over in Frankfort. Thanks to Robbie Davis and Zija for stepping up on that as well. But here tonight, it's LCA leading comfortably. Well, I don't know how comfortable it is, but they lead by 8, their biggest lead, 29-21 here at halftime against Lexington Catholic. And Coach Justin Cheatham's been scouring over all those stats, and he's going to give you the numbers here tonight from the basketball game here at the Buter Gymnasium. Coach?
Gary, right now at halftime, Lexington Christian leading 29-21. And it really all starts with rebounding. Lexington Christian out-rebounding Lexington Catholic at halftime, 22-12. And 8 of those have been offensive rebounds, and we've seen those offensive rebounds convert into points for Lexington Christian. So, like Brandon Salzman was saying, at the end of the first quarter, he saw it. He knew his team was being out-rebounded, and Lexington Christian has continued to do a great job boxing out, crashing the offensive boards, and seeing that convert into points. Scoring right now for Lexington Christian, Matt Rose with 4 points, Drew Trimble with 9, Kyle Rode with 6, John Stein with 5, Benton Nybert with 3, Trey King with 2 points, and right now he has 3 fouls. So Trey King with 3 fouls, that could come into play because he's been a spark for Lexington Christian, both back on January 6th and tonight. For Lexington Catholic, Reese Ryan with 3 points, Michael Talbot with 1 point. And that's a huge adjustment that Nate Valentine made from the first meeting to tonight. Michael Talbot absolutely tore Lexington Christian up in their first meeting. And Lexington Christian has made some adjustments, put a faster defender on Michael Talbot, stayed between Talbot and the basket, done a good job of slowing him down. Jared Griffin with 4 points, Tanner Johnson with 8 points, and Ogbugu came in and knocked down that huge 3. Donovan Morris with the big 2 to end the first quarter. So that rounds out Lexington Catholic scoring. But if you're a Lexington Catholic fan, you have to look at the three-point shooting because they really need some of those threes to fall. Right now they're 2 for 12. So cold shooting by Lexington Catholic combined with LCA out-rebounding has what has really contributed to this 8-point lead for LCA tonight. Lexington Christian leads the assist category 7-4. Lexington Christian's leading in the turnover category as well, 5-2. So just about every statistical category, Gary, LCA has the upper hand right now.
And what about the rebounding? You know, we talked about that quite a bit in that first half. Offensive rebounding, was that as big a story as we thought it would be after we called that first half?
Yeah, Lexington Christian's out-rebounding Lexington Catholic 22-12. So that's 10 more rebounds. That's 10 more opportunities that Lexington Christian's getting on the offensive end. And as we saw right there to end the second quarter, we saw Trimble pull down the board, and it was just that second chance opportunity. That turns into 3 points. And we've seen that multiple times tonight, and that's really an adjustment that Lexington Catholic's going to have to make. They've got to limit the Lexington Christian chances.
Shout out to Adam Garman. He's listening down in watching down in Clinton County on PrepSpin tonight. Shout out to him. And Coach, I know you probably got your family watching down in Nicholasville.
That's right. My beautiful wife, Emily, is homesick tonight, but still tuning in. My daughters, Faith and Claire, happy Valentine's Day. Coming up this weekend. Probably take them to Rafferty's.
Why not?
That's
where it all started.
That's where it all started, and great place to go and celebrate the holiday.
That's right. William said he's going to Chuck E. Cheese.
Well, you could do that too.
That's a pretty good place. So 29-21, Coach. We'll come back and talk about it, but want to thank William Warfield, of course, PrepSpin, Terry Murphy on WVLK. Again, we're simulcast tonight. If you're driving around, you can also watch this game on PrepSpin.com, and you can listen to the audio broadcast on WVLK. And that's, of course, Terry Murphy producing. And check me out on Sunday mornings, 9 to 11, with Sunday Morning Sports Talk. We always have great high school guests and interviews, and every Sunday morning, 9 to 11. And for the Scholastic Ball Report, there is an ACC game Saturday at noon, so we'll be on Sunday at noon. Lafayette Lady Generals and Allie Denton, our team of the week, Coach. They're coming on strong now. Don't count them out, you know.
Listen, Gary, we saw them last season. They're undefeated in district play. And when you talk about the 11th region in girls basketball this year, you can't talk about it long without mentioning Lafayette Lady Generals. And they have size, they have speed, they have great coaches. It's going to be a wonderful tournament. We're going to see a great Henry Clay team, an outstanding Franklin County team. So it's going to be a wild ride to see who goes to the Sweet 16 from the 11th.
And also Sunday at noon on the CW, the Scholastic Ball Report. East Jessamine scholars are on. From East Jessamine, West Jessamine diver, Sayre diver, all that come up. Doug Flynn co-hosting with me Sunday at noon on the CW, the Scholastic Ball Report. We'll come back and we'll have the second half here at halftime. The Eagles of Nate Valentine lead Brandon Salzman and Lexington Catholic 29-21. We'll return here to the Buter Gymnasium on the campus of Lexington Catholic after this timeout.
Hello, everybody.
Directory is a free resource magazine for families. The February issue features spring break ideas and the birthday party guide. The upcoming March through June issues will feature the popular summer program guide. If you have children, or if you have children among your family and friends, be sure to pick up this monthly magazine at local high-traffic parent areas, or you can view the entire book online at kykidsdirectory.com. The first issue was published in March 2001, so this year marks 14 years of bringing families and local businesses together.
Kentucky One Health and St. Joseph East are the preeminent healthcare providers serving the state of Kentucky. Kentucky One Health is the largest and most comprehensive health system in the Commonwealth. They have more than 200 locations, including hospitals, physician groups, clinics, primary care centers, specialty institutes, and home health care. Bringing wellness, healing, and hope to all. That's Kentucky One Health and St. Joseph East. Thanks to sponsors Julie and Tim Hill and Susan and Bill Nybert. Go Eagles.
Does a lot of the Lexington Catholic LCA games. I mean, if it's a big game, you know William Warfield's going to be there. And, of course, everybody says the same thing about WVLK. If it's a big high school ball game, we're usually there. And, Coach, you've been with me now, 3 or 4 years on radio?
Gary, this is year 5.
Year 5?
This is year 5.
Time flies when you're having fun.
That's right. It sure does. But you're exactly right. The job that William Warfield does on PrepSpin, it is first class.
Remarkable. We start the second half, and Matt Rose and LCA will start with the ball. That's John Stein. He brings it back out on the dribble. Benton Nybert. You got Kyle Rode, and you got Drew Trimble. We already mentioned Rose. It goes over to Rode right side. Griffin tries to reach in, and he does, and he ties him up. Great job, great defense by Jared Griffin.
Well, Rode caught the ball on the right wing, puts the ball out in front of him, and immediately Jared Griffin ties him up, gets that jump ball, had the arrow going their way. Ball goes back to Lexington Catholic. Good start.
Here comes Talbot. He kicks it over to Tanner Johnson. He can light it up at any moment. Out to Jared Griffin. Griffin gets a pick from Booth, slices through, kicks it over to Tanner Johnson. Rose coming out on him. Johnson gets a pick, launches a three. Got it. That's what I'm talking about. It doesn't take this young man much time to heat up. And when he does, Coach, when he starts heating up, look out. He'll start knocking down threes like it's raining threes in here.
Well, he steps right off that screen, catches, turns, shoots, bam, money.
Rowe driving to the basket, lost the handle on it, goes out of bounds back to LCA. 29-24, Johnson's three, and Kyle Rode out. And coming in, Davis for LCA. 7:06 to go in the third. Looking to put it in play. Lob it out to Trimble out top. Trimble was huge in that first half.
He sure was. He got some great putbacks, great offensive rebounds, and was strong from the free throw line.
The winner here gets the 43rd District #1 seed that gets underway a week from Monday, the 23rd at Tates Creek. All that action right here. Here's a Nybert shot. Bullseye. Nybert says, whatever you do, Mr. Johnson, I can do as well.
Nybert starts this quarter as he did in the first quarter, knocking down the three. That's 2 for him tonight.
6 points for Benton Nybert. 32-24, lead back to 8. Just when Johnson had it down to 5, and that's Jared Griffin. Coach Salzman wanted him to pick up the offense a little bit, kicks it over to Tanner Johnson, set a pick. Here's working in Rose. Johnson backs up, 15-footer, in and out. And Walker Booth went up for it, kind of mistimed his jump a little bit, didn't he, Coach?
Mistimed his jump, but great defense there by Rose on Tanner Johnson.
Stein with 6:15, kicks it in the corner to Benton Nybert. Nybert, right side free throw line, extended bounce pass back to Trimble. He skips it over to Stein. Stein penetrates behind the back, now backs it back out of there. Griffin and Johnson getting after him. Stein kicks it over to Nybert, wide open, lets the three fly, bullseye.
Stein double team, doesn't panic, finds Nybert wide open in the corner, cross court pass. Nybert makes him pay, comes out in this quarter, knocking down 2 threes in a row.
You said it best right there. Did not panic. He had 2 big defenders on him. He still found Benton Nybert. Tanner Johnson's come out and knocked down a 3 here, so a little better start from 3 for for Catholic here in the second half when he knocked down that 3. Talbot's got it, looking for Johnson. Talbot to the basket, hangs, won't go. Booth there battling, throws it up and draws the foul on Trimble. Trimble couldn't believe it. a little bit in disbelief.
Well, we talked about the offensive rebounding for Lexington Christian, Lexington Catholic right there.
By the way, that's 3 on Trimble.
All right, they pull down their own offensive rebound. Booth crashes the board strong. Gets to the free throw line, tries to cut into this 11-point lead.
This Walker Booth kid is an outstanding academic student. We had him on the Scholastic Ball Report a couple weeks ago. He carries like a 4.0 in the classroom. That's one thing you got to like about these Catholic and LCA kids. So I really admire the academics at these two schools. That's why it's a blue ribbon school.
Oh, certainly. And, you can just tell by the way they play and they conduct themselves that they're intelligent young men.
Ball stripped away. Griffin's got it for Catholic. Jared 3-on-3 down the lane trying to bounce it to Ryan. Kicked away there by Davis. I believe Davis got the soccer foot in there. Goes back to the Knights. 5:23, 35-26. Lob to Griffin. Hangs and puts it in one motion. Grabbed the ball and stuck it home. What a shot on the inbound. That was a design inbound play, wasn't it, Coach?
That was a drawn-up inbounds play that is tough to execute for Jared Griffin, but he gets up just enough to catch it in the air, put it right back in.
35-28. Pass almost picked off by Reese Ryan. He's decided to play his college football and take his quarterback talents to Western Kentucky. I think a good choice for Reese. You got Jeff Brom there, and the quarterback Dowdy that played there broke all kinds of records. I think threw 49 touchdown passes this season for Western.
Wow.
And he's a senior. Ball on the floor, and what's the call here? Jump ball called as Griffin was able to reach in and tie up Trimble. Good sportsmanship there by Drew to help Jared Griffin up. 35-28, Coach, 4:48 to go in the third. Been a good one.
It's been a great one. Even with this 7-point lead right now that LCA has, it doesn't mean anything. At any point, Lexington Catholic can get hot. Frankly, right now, LCA looks a little tight. Sometimes it's hard to play with a lead. And right here, they get a 5-second call trying to take it out under their own basket. So another turnover for LCA, playing a little tight now with an 11-point lead. Momentum swings back to Lexington Catholic.
Michael Talbot works it across the line for the Knights. And they're white tonight. LCA in the blue to Jared Griffin. Working in on Nybert. Griffin hanging and drawing another foul. If that goes on Nybert, he's going to be in a little bit of foul trouble right now. It's his third.
Yep.
They show him with 2. I show him with 3, Coach.
Well, that was Griffin recognizing that he had Nybert on him. Takes him to the left, which is Jared Griffin's strong hand, and gets Nybert off balance and attacks his body and picks up that second foul.
Griffin, Jared, normally an outstanding free throw shooter. He missed that one. Could have cut it down to 5. He'll try to cut it to 6 with 4:36 to go here in the game at the Buter Gymnasium, where tonight they retired Demetrius Green's jersey here tonight. How about that?
What an outstanding player he was.
52 points in the game. I think that's still a record. Of course, we know Tanner had 43 the other night against Central. Davis tried to get it across the line. In the middle goes to Trimble. Kicks it over to Nybert. Launches looking for his 4th 3. Skips off no. Nybert tracks it down deep in the corner. And we're going to have a timeout called. And Coach Salzman's livid because Catholic did not come up with that loose basketball. That's one of those 50-50 balls, and he's wondering why nobody's getting that ball, and he's upset about the hustle of his ball club.
Right, very frustrated by his own team. 50-50 ball there. You've mounted a little bit of a comeback. You've cut an 11-point lead down to a 6. Loose ball. You got to come up with those, and he's furious at his team right now.
35-29 here tonight on the Rafferty's Game of the Week. Thanks to all the sponsors as well on PrepSpin. See it on the field, see it on the courts, get it at all sports. I tell you, Kentucky One Health, some great sponsors, Bluegrass Orthopedics, Van Meter Insurance, and also, of course, Julie Hill from Zija and Robbie Davis. Thanks to all those folks. Thanks to Rafferty's Restaurants. And, Coach, I tell you what, Rafferty's takes care of us here on WVLK.
They sure do, and it is my choice for Valentine's date this weekend.
I'm doing a lobster fest where a friend is having lobster flown in from Maine. That's going to be the dinner at the Boone Creek Creamery over off Palumbo. It's going to be about 30 people.
Okay.
With fresh lobster flown in from Maine.
Well, if there's 30, they wouldn't mind if there's 32.
Probably.
So my wife and I can come to that?
Yes.
All right.
You're invited, Coach.
We'll go to Rafferty's the next night. We'll have lobster one night, Rafferty's the next night. It's perfect.
William said they'll have clam chowder for you.
Clam chowder, okay.
That's good stuff, too.
I'll
I love
take
clam. I love clam chowder. That's right. Valentine's is Saturday, so remember your favorite Valentine. 35-29. Right side, Davis, bounce pass down low. Trimble kicks it to Kyle Rode, who checked back in there. Back to Drew Schock, back to Kyle Rode. Rode over to Matt Rose. 4:06 to go, third period. LCA looks like they're going to be patient here with that 6-point lead. They had an 11-point lead at one point, didn't they?
It was an 11-point lead, Gary, and they got tight. Sometimes it's really hard to play with a lead.
Schock lobs it, and one-handed grab. Rose couldn't finish it, but Trimble puts it up. No. Trimble goes back, gets it, blocked, whistle, foul called. That was almost a highlight reel. I saw William Warfield salivating over here when Matt Rose went up and grabbed that ball. Thought it was going to be a dunk with one hand.
I'm not sure if it was a lob or a bad pass, but Matt Rose goes up, streaking from the baseline, goes up with his left hand, and I think he's going to throw it down.
Yep.
And if he did, I think I would have jumped out of the crow's nest.
That would have gotten you like Dunbar over there when the Walker dunked that one over Williams at Dunbar a couple of weeks ago. You said that was one of the best dunks you've ever seen.
It was fantastic.
I know it brought the house down over at the Dog Pound.
That's right. It was about 5 minutes before they could resume play after Walker dunks over Dunbar that night. And
it was like LeBron James walked in the gym or something.
Well, you just don't expect to see a guard just jump over top of your 6'4" star and dunk.
Both free throws connected by DT. Drew Trimble, it's 37-29, lead back to 8. Here's Johnson, a long three. Got it.
And just like that, it's a 5-point game, and Tanner Johnson not only knocks down that three, but he does it with Matt Rose right in his face.
14 now for Tanner Johnson, 37-32, his second three of the second half. Remember, we documented only 2 of 12 for the Knights in the first half from three. They've already hit 2 here in the first 4 minutes of the second half. Right side now, Trimble skips it back to Drew Schock, and he looks now with Tanner Johnson on him, 3:04 in the third. 37-32, Eagles by 5. Davis has a left side. He's cut off there by Johnson and Griffin. Dribbles out of it, hands it to Trimble. He kicks it in the corner to Rode. Rode comes in on Ogbugu, hands it back to Davis, now to Schock. LCA running some clock here with a 5-point lead. Schock on Griffin.
I don't think LCA is just trying to run clock. I just think they're trying to be very patient and get the great shot.
Rode going on Booth. Kicks it over Davis, launches the three. Off the mark, there's Rose battling, and he went over Johnson. They're going to call a foul on Matt Rose.
Well, that's just excellent defense, not losing your composure. Lexington Catholic stays between their man and the basket all over the court. Ogbugu gets right in the face of the shooter. Every Lexington Catholic player boxes out on that trip, and they not only get the rebound, but they pick up another foul on Matt Rose. So that is a huge improvement from first half to third quarter by Lexington Catholic.
Again, if you're driving around Central Kentucky, listen on WVLK. When you get home or get to a computer, you can also watch us on PrepSpin.com. We're simulcasting again tonight, WVLK and PrepSpin. 2:15 in the third, 37-32. Gary Ball, Justin Cheatham, William Warfield here courtside, and Terry Murphy producing downtown at WVLK. It has been a good one, like you would expect for the 43rd District Crown. Winner here gets the number 1 seed in the tournament. Griffin launches a three, back of the rim, no, and long rebound by Rose out near the free throw line. Falls to the floor, and we're going to have a bump and a foul called on Catholic, and I think it's going to be on Morris.
Same situation, just the other end. Lexington Christian boxes out well. Matt Rose crashes the boards. Morris gets a hand in there and picks up his foul. Nice
crowd here from Lexington Christian, which is only about a mile or so away, and a great crowd for Catholic. Nice crowd in here tonight for Thursday night affair. Join us next week for another big game here on WVLK. I know one game we're interested in next Friday. Boyle County is at Lafayette.
Boyle County's got a great team this year.
That's next Friday at Lafayette. That's one game. Just check the Herald Leader for the game we cover here. It's always in the paper. 1:32 to go in the third, 37-32. Handoff to Drew Schock. And Trey King is back in there, Coach. They go to Rose on the floor. Booth diving there, and he went out of bounds on the sideline, out of bounds with it. Good hustle there, though, by Walker Booth.
Well, the entry pass coming from the point to the high post, and Booth uses his entire body to get in there and deflect it out of bounds. Great job by Booth.
Minute 22 in the third. Schock gets it in down low. King kicks it over to Rose. Fakes, goes in on Booth. Rose hangs and draws the foul. Pick your poison. You had 2 defenders there. They called it on Booth. I thought they possibly could have got it on Ogbugu, but they got it on Booth down low.
LCA inbounds the ball to the high post, drop step pass to your star Rose. He uses a great shot fake gets to the glass and the free throw line.
Rose just keeps climbing and climbing up that leading scorer. He passed Taylor Barnett, did he not, a few weeks ago? Is that right? In the scoring, he passed
I think so.
Taylor Barnett, second all-time scorer.
Well, the Lexington Catholic student section chanting overrated to Matt Rose as he's shooting, but I think what we just saw confirmed he's not overrated.
No.
He's quite the star, just as Tanner Johnson is.
Yeah, he'll be an all-state player. He's going to have to make some of those all-state teams. Wouldn't you think, Coach?
Absolutely. My
Down low,
goodness.
Johnson tipped away by Trimble. I think Matt Rose has all-state written all over him. I mean, they name, I think there's 3 all-state teams, and I'm sure he'll be on one of them, first team or second. Johnson is hitting the floor there, and we're going to have a charge called on Johnson.
Well, that's just excellent defense again. Tanner Johnson tries to drive the right baseline. Lexington Christian steps over, puts the foot down, takes the charge.
That's great defense there by Matt Rose. You know, if you're Tanner, you're probably thinking maybe I should just pulled up and taken that little jumper on the baseline. Would have been like a nice 10-footer. High pass, Rose, catch it, spin move. Matt Rose rolls it out of there. There's Booth battling, picked up by King, and he sticks it home.
Boy, that's what we saw in the first matchup. We see it again right there. Trey King crashing the boards off the Matt Rose miss, gets the putback, pushes the lead back up to 9 for LCA.
Winner here's the number 1 seed, and we'll play Wednesday night, February 25th in the 43rd District at Creek.
And we don't know who they'll play because we don't know who the 4 seed is until they flip a coin on Saturday. It's between Dunbar and Lafayette. Dunbar and Lafayette will, one of those 2 teams will be the 4 seed playing Creek.
Reese Ryan down low to Johnson, and he's going to be grabbed by Davis with 14.7 to go. That's only 4 team fouls. 5, check it, 5 team fouls against the Eagles. So a couple more fouls to give before the bonus. 14.7. They go to Griffin down low in the low post. Griffin, strong move to the basket, put it up, no. Grabs it back, sticks it up, no, draws the foul. That's all Jared Griffin there, not wanting to be denied.
Jared Griffin uses his body so well, gets the angle that he wants, takes it up strong, doesn't quit on the play, crashes the board, stays with it, and gets to the free throw line, and that's exactly what they need. Lexington Catholic needed to get something out of this possession. With only 9 seconds to go in the quarter, you cut into that lead, cut it all the way down to 5. Now LCA is on a little bit of a run. You need to squash that run if you're Lexington Catholic right here.
And most importantly, Coach, you can knock down some free throws here if you're Jared Griffin. He made the first one. You can cut into that lead and you stop the clock, of course, when you're shooting free throws. Maybe get another steal here with 9.6 seconds to go before the end of the third.
That's right. This will come down to a 1 to 2 possession game. Free throws are going to matter. Every possession counts.
He got them both, did Mr. Griffin. And it is 41-34. The lead is 7. Talbot back in, Donovan Morris, Enoch Bugu, Reese Ryan, and Peter Whitman. That's your lineup. With the ball is Shock. 7 seconds, Shocked across the line, kicks it over to Davis, out top Matt Rose. He slices and dices to the basket, throws it off glass, and it rolls in. Rose with a tough shot there at the end of the third, and he gives the Eagles of Lexington Christian a 43-34 lead as we head to the final quarter here on WVLK and PrepSpin. We'll return thanks to Rafferty's with a special as you. With William Warfield producing on PrepSpin, Terry Murphy on WVLK. 43-34, Coach. We head to the fourth quarter. What can Catholic do here? They will start with the ball to start the fourth quarter, down 9.
You got to get stops, which they obviously are not getting. and get something out of your press. They haven't been very successful tonight at all in their press.
Ryan looking, skips it over to Whitman. Whitman hangs with the left hand, won't go. Rebounded by King. Good look there by Peter Whitman. Couldn't get it to drop. And here comes LCA's Drew Schacht working across left to right on your radio dial. For the Eagles of Lexington Christian in their blue. Out top to Davis, over to King. Right side looking. Now comes out to Rose. Hit that big tough shot there at the end of the third quarter. Got a nice kind roll, didn't he?
Well, Coach Salzman went small, setting his press up. No one to defend Rose, and he takes it all the way in and knocks down a tough basket.
Rose down low to King, posting up. King stops, drops, won't go, sticks it back. Yes, off window.
LCA with the size advantage right now with the lineup. No one to match up on Trey King. He's making Lexington Catholic pay.
Lead is back to 11 for the Eagles. That equals their biggest lead. And we're going to have a timeout, a full timeout called by Coach Salzman. 7:07 to play. Be a full timeout as Trey King with the stick back with his own miss. Banked it home, made it 45-34. Of course, check out the 43rd District Tournament. That'll get underway a week from Monday, February 23rd. That's going to be played at Tate's Creek, the house that Justin Cheatham built over there at the Nolan Barger Gymnasium. And that'll be Monday. And the boys' game will be at 8 o'clock. Joe Ruddle will be the tournament manager. Boys' game will be 8 o'clock Monday, February 23rd. We'll have a game next week here on the Game of the Week. And one game that we're really looking at hard is Friday night. Boyle County is at Lafayette. That should be a real good one over at Lafayette.
It should be. And, Lafayette's a coin flip away from, if this thing turns out the way it's headed right now, if Lexington Christian can hang on to this lead, Lafayette wins the coin toss. Lafayette could face Lexington Catholic in the first round, which would be the 2-3 game. Of course, in that scenario, Dunbar would play Tate's Creek, depending on the coin flip, of course. The first number 1 seed, of course, gets the bye to Wednesday night, which is great if your 4 or 5 matchup is really weak. But in any scenario in the 43rd, the 4-5 is not weak. So what you have is one less day to prepare if you win on Wednesday night. Because the 2-3 plays on Tuesday night. They're going to get 2 days to prepare, the winner would, for Friday night.
That's right.
So, almost, you don't want to not be the number 1, but there's benefits to being the 2.
Gotcha. Well, that's what will be the scenario tonight. Booth kicks it over to Ryan, over to Jared Griffin. Ryan back over to Talbot. Talbot penetrates now with the left hand down the lane, kicks it over to Ryan. He's open from 3, baseline, got it. Big shot by Ryan. He started out this game knocking down a big 3, and he starts out here in the fourth knocking down a big 3, cuts that lead down to 45-37. There's going to be a grab, and it's going to go, I believe, on Jared Griffin.
First shot of the game was Reese Ryan knocking down a 3. Salzman calls a timeout. LCA pushes it back to 11-point lead. Last time LCA had an 11-point lead, they played a little tight. Right now they're looking a little tight again with 6 minutes to go. Sometimes it's tough to win.
45-37. Drew Shockton backcourt dribbles out of the double team. In the middle goes to Rose. Rose runs over top of Booth, and that's going to be a charge there. Good job by Walker Booth to take that charge.
Very productive timeout by Coach Salzman. He gets a good look on the offensive end, cuts into the lead, gets his full court press set, gets Matt Rose completely out of control right there, picks up the charge. Ball's going back to Lexington Catholic.
Check out high school sports on the Scholastic Ball Report. This week it'll be Sunday at noon with Lafayette Lady Journals, our team of the week. Sunday at noon on the CW High School Sports. Here's Griffin, a long 3. Back of the rim, no. But it's pulled out of there by Johnson. Johnson, strong move to the basket, rolls off, and rebounded by Trimble. Trimble kicks it out to Schock. Boy, good opportunity there for Catholic to cut that lead down to 6, possibly 5. Griffin's 3 wouldn't go, but Johnson got the stick back. That wouldn't go. 45-37. LCA by 8. They've led by as many as 11. They've had that lead a couple of times, Coach.
Had it a couple of times right now. Catholic right back in their man-to-man, and LCA being very patient.
5:50 to go in this one. Eagles being deliberate. Drew Trimble has had an outstanding game. Comes over to Davis. In the middle to Rose. Rose working in on Booth. Ball knocked away. Rose picks it back up. Works in. Throws it up. No. Gets it back again. Throws it up. And whistle foul called. That's Matt Rose. Just having some stick-to-itiveness, and he would not be denied.
Well, Booth is playing great defense, staying between Rose and the basket, going straight up, not drawing the foul. The problem is, after the shot goes up, Booth isn't crashing the boards for the ball, enabling Rose to get multiple offensive rebounds. Tanner Johnson then has to come from behind, tries to go for the block, and anytime you go from the block, from behind, 9 out of 10 times you're going to get the foul call, and that's exactly what happens there.
We're going to look at the schedules here coming up for you folks watching on PrepSpin and listening for the Lexington Christian. We're going to look at their schedule. I know they got a game coming up with Boyle County as well as I go to the app here. Lexington Christian, they are playing, of course, here tonight at the Buter Gym, the campus of Lexington Catholic, and then they have, that's why Coach Humphreys from Clark County is in the house here tonight. They've got them on Valentine's. They play at George Rogers Clark. Boyle County, Monday night affair. Monday the 16th, they've got Boyle County at Lexington Christian. Monday night at 8 o'clock, and then they wrap up their season at Bryan Station Thursday. That's for LCA.
Well, Gary, Matt Rose goes to the line for 2, misses the first, so that's what Lexington Catholic needs.
Second one by Matt, and he rattles it in. Matt Rose, one of the leading scorers in the 11th. It's going to be a battle between him and Darius Williams of Dunbar. They're both averaging about 23, 24 points a game. Walker Booth down the lane. Strong move off window, no. Tapped around, picked up by Rose. Well, Walker Booth went strong to the basket, but he didn't finish.
Great drive there by Booth. Just couldn't get it to fall, and Lexington Christian all over that rebound, looking very confident right now.
We're going to have checking back in Agbugu. Ball picked up there by Reese Ryan. Loose ball, and here comes Lexington Catholic. Griffin hands to Talbot. Over to Ryan. Down low to Walker Booth. Backing in on King. Booth with a hook shot. No, rebounded by King.
Last 2 possessions, Coach Salzman has gone to Booth, attacking King. No luck there.
Trying to get that third foul on Trey, no doubt, or fourth?
I believe it would be his 4th.
Yep. Davis circles the wagons, now spins it back, working on Johnson. 4:38. The lead is 46-37 for LCA, leading Catholic. Drew Schock for the Eagles. Kicks it over to Davis. Davis now back out to Schock with 4:25 to play. Simulcasting tonight on WVLK and PrepSpin.com. Skip it over to Davis, right side. Back out now, comes now to Schock with 4:14. Schock on the dribble on Talbot. Schock down the lane, kicks it over now to Trimble. Trimble kicks it over to Davis, and he doesn't even think about a shot.
Right, it's going to be layups, free throws, and that's it. 4 minutes to go. Lexington Christian just ran a minute off the clock. Sound with the basketball, absolutely no rush. You got the lead in the ball. They're going to make Lexington Catholic foul, and that's exactly what happened right there.
And the thing about Lexington Christian and the fans watching on PrepSpin tonight and also listening on WVLK, they know all too well they have never been to an 11th region tournament.
Which is just, I hear that all the time, and I just can't believe it. I cannot believe it, but it just speaks not to, negatively about Lexington Christian, because they've had some outstanding teams. It just shows how hard it is to get out of the 43rd district.
Schock made 1 of 2, tracked down by Reese Ryan. 10-point ball game, and the Knights need a big long pass, skipped, knocked away by Rose. It was intended for Jared Griffin in the corner. If you're Catholic, you're wanting to free up Johnson or maybe Ryan or Griffin for a 3 here and get this thing down to 7 points here with still a lot of time to play.
Well, that's right. With the way Lexington Christian is handling the clock, managing the game, you're not going to get a lot of possessions.
Johnson backing up on Davis, gives it to Reese Ryan. Ryan back over to Johnson, launches the 3, got it, nothing but net.
Boy, there Johnson. It is. That's just pick and pop basketball for Lexington Catholic. Gets the ball to Tanner Johnson. That's what they needed. Cut it to 7.
47-40, and that's going to be a turnover there by the Eagles after the 3 by Johnson. That big fadeaway 3 by Tanner in the corner might have rattled LCA just a bit maybe.
It's funny how when you see a 3-point shot fall, it puts life into your legs for defense.
That's right.
What happens right there. Ball right back to Lexington Catholic. They're going right back to Tanner.
If Johnson would hit one here, you'd have it down to a 4-point ball game. Goes in the corner to Griffin, saved it on the sideline. Griffin might have double dribbled there, but he dribbled it on the pass. Here's Talbot to the basket, put it up, no, and we're going to have a blocking foul. And that would have counted for Talbot. Foul's going to be on Mr. King.
King looked like he was set, doesn't go for the block, and Talbot drives in there and picks up a foul on King, and that's his 4th. Talbot can go to the free throw line and cut this lead to 5 for Lexington Catholic.
47-40. Talbot, a good free throw shooter, can cut it down to 5. Last time these two teams played, it went down to the last couple of possessions over at LCA. Talbot knocked it down. Talbot in that game, I remember over at LCA back on about a month ago or a little over a month ago.
January
he
6th.
was spinning and knocking everything. I think he scored the first 4 baskets of the game in that for Catholic.
No one could stop him. I mean, he was all over the court, penetrating, driving, facing double teams, and still getting to the rim. He was outstanding.
He knocks down both free throws, and we've got a 47-42 ball game. Full court press by the Knights, and LCA defeats it. Trimble lobs down to King. King works in, throws it up and knocks it down. Nice shot by King.
Boy, Gary, I was impressed with King in the first meeting. He has improved tremendously. That was a great power dribble, step to the rim, square up, finish the play, push the lead back out to 7.
49-42, and that's a full timeout. We'll step out. We'll come back on WVLK and PrepSpin with LCA leading 49-42 over Lexington County.
All S, all P, all O, R, T, S. Pick it up at all sports. Pick it up at all sports.
In Fayette Mall on Facebook and Twitter, locally owned and operated since 1972.
It's been my dream come true to be your Commissioner of Agriculture, and I view the people of Western Kentucky as our family. So TJ and I have chosen this time and this place to say to all of you, I will be a candidate for governor in 2015. We will start the journey to make Kentucky proud again. Thank you, and may God bless the Commonwealth of Kentucky.
Gary, 43rd District. Right now, Lafayette's playing Trinity. Lafayette leads Trinity at halftime by 3.
There's Talbot to the basket, banks it home. So Lafayette up on Trinity. Lafayette's playing some really good basketball right now.
Playing great basketball, and they could be the 4 seed. So it just shows you how tough it is in the 43rd.
The 4 seed, and they might beat one of the top teams in the state tonight, Trinity. Ball knocked away by Griffin, but as he falls down, he goes out of bounds. That'll give it back to LCA, 2:41 to play. But, Coach, another game between LCA and Lexington Catholic going down to the wire, 49-44.
2-possession game. LCA is not out of the woods. They've got to continue to handle the ball, manage the clock, make free throws.
Rose kicks it over to Davis. Left side, free throw line extended, bounces back to Shock. This is what I liked about the LCA offense tonight, though. They've been very patient.
They've been patient, and a lot of teams get rattled. A lot of teams in high school think there's a shot clock. There's not.
Lob Rose missed it down low, throws it back up, put it in. Rose.
Well, Coach Salzman's furious because he felt like Rose never, on the first attempt at the basket, never hit the rim.
Yeah.
And he got his own rebound and no call. So
here's Talbot spinning to the basket. It rolls out on him. Looked like it was going down for Michael Talbot. It rolled out. That would have cut it to 5, 2:05 to play. 51-44. Rose has got it at midcourt. Rose cut off by Johnson. Loops it to King down low. He skips it out to Drew Schock out top. Under 2 minutes to play. 51-44. LCA the lead in the blue. There goes Trimble down the lane. Kicks it to King. King throws it up, and he might have traveled. Yeah, it's a jump ball. And the possession arrow, though, on the jump ball will give it back to LCA.
LCA, again, spreads the floor well, passes the ball well. Trey King, right position, squares up. It's going to result in another Lexington Catholic timeout, 7-point lead.
Rafferty's Restaurants throughout the state of Kentucky. Rafferty's Restaurants. I got the open-faced prime rib, Joe Hall special. Also have the best potato soup, salads, you name it, steaks. Rafferty's Restaurants. They're in Lexington, Hamburg. They're throughout the state of Kentucky. Rafferty's Restaurants with a special as you.
Gary, we talked about Lafayette being up on Trinity at halftime and possibly being a 4 seed, depending on how the coin flip goes. Lafayette has something in common as well with both of these teams. Lafayette has a win over Lexington Catholic and Lexington Christian this season.
Yeah, Lafayette's a dangerous team, I would think, at tournament. I think all these teams in the 43rd are dangerous come tournament time because they've all got outstanding coaches, outstanding talent, and just a matter do you put it together at the right time, kind of like the Lafayette Lady Generals are. They're kind of peaking at the right time right now. They started out slow with like 3 or 4 losses, and now they're sitting with like a 17, 18-9 record right now for Allie Denton.
Right, it's timing, luck, and skill. You need all 3 going for you at the same time to win a title.
Trimble to Davis, a minute 43 to play, and Catholic looking for a big steal here. Down low goes Trimble. Lob down low, Rose. Rose jumps up, grabs it, hangs. Blocked from behind by Ryan. Good block by Reese Ryan. Goes back to LCA, though, as Ryan knocked it out of bounds.
Trimble throws that lob well above the basket. Rose still manages to get up there and get it and maintain possession.
Drew Schock set to put it in play. Skips it out to Davis. Joe Davis working on Jared Griffin.
Well, something else this LCA offensive scheme has done, it's put the Lexington Catholic fans to sleep.
Trimble.
The student section sound asleep.
To Davis. That's a good point. There's a bump foul called out near the timeline. That's on Griffin, his second. 18 fouls against both teams now, and that'll be a bonus now for senior Drew Schock, who's normally an outstanding free throw shooter.
Well, with a minute 19 to go, the way LCA is managing the clock, Lexington Catholic is not going to have very many more possessions. If LCA hits their free throws,
salted away.
This game's over.
Schock made the first one and missed that one. Rebounded by Talbot. He's going to push the pace. Skips it to Jared Griffin. Griffin looking, kicks it over now to Ryan. He lines up the three, in and out. King with battling there. King comes out with the rebound. He's going to be fouled on a reach. I think Walker Booth might have gotten him. Yep, called on Booth. That's his fourth. 19 fouls. So the next foul will put them in the double bonus. Cal Road back in for the Eagles, going out. Drew Schock with a minute 8 to go. And if you're the Eagles, you're thinking, man, if King knocks these free throws down, we could almost put this one away.
8-point lead. They've handled the ball well. They've defended Tanner Johnson well.
Missed it, though. Rebounded. Talbot looking up at the clock, a minute 5. Talbot across the line looking for Johnson. Way out top. Johnson a long three. In and out. Rebounded by Rose. As King hits the floor, Rose kicks it out to Davis. 52 seconds. Davis gets it to Kyle Road, and we're going to have a timeout called with 50 seconds to go, and LCA leading 52-44. The winner here gets the number 1 seed in the 43rd district, and we will return here to Lexington Catholic. LCA leading 52-44 here on the Rafferty's and PrepSpin Game of the Week.
Kentucky One Health and St. Joseph East are the preeminent healthcare providers serving the state of Kentucky. Kentucky One Health is the largest and most comprehensive health system in the Commonwealth. They have more than 200 locations, including hospitals, physician groups, clinics, primary care centers, specialty institutes, and home health care, bringing wellness, healing, and hope to all. That's Kentucky One Health and St. Joseph East. Thanks to sponsors Julie and Tim.
Gary Ball with Justin Cheatham and William Warfield from PrepSpin. Terry Murphy producing WVLK, simulcasting again tonight. And we like it when we simulcast WVLK and PrepSpin, don't we, Coach?
We sure do. It's just a first-class quality opportunity for fans all over to not only hear but see some of the best high school basketball around.
And tonight, LCA, even though they're playing here at the Buter Gym on the campus of Catholic, they've kind of taken the fight to the Knights here tonight. I thought they've been the aggressor, and it really started on the offensive boards in that first half.
Well, both teams come in 5-2, playing for the number 1 seed. LCA trying to avenge that earlier loss back on January 6th, and have really done a great job tonight.
Shocked, and as he tries to get it across the line, he's fouled there by Talbot. So that will send LCA back to the line. That's a double bonus time now for Drew Schock, the senior.
Well, if you're LCA, you have not turned the ball over tonight. You have managed the clock. You've played the pace and managed the pace that you wanted. And you've out-rebounded your opponent. When you do those things, you are going to put yourself in a position to win, and that's exactly what LCA has done tonight. Pushes this lead back up to 9 points with 43 seconds to go. And barring a miracle, LCA will be the number 1 seed in the 43rd.
And it would be the second win all time for LCA over Catholic. You know, they only defeated them one time coming into this game. Last year, Talbot's three off the mark, rebounded by Rose. Rose down to 28 seconds, and it looks like Catholic's going to back off a little bit. Rose works it across over to Davis, and 10-point lead. And LCA is going to get the number 1 seed in the 43rd district heading into that tournament at Christian, down to 15 seconds. Rose has got it way out top. And, guys, who do we like as our star of the game? I'd almost have to go with Drew Trimble or King. Trey King, maybe. What do you think, Coach?
Trey King's had a great game, definitely deserving.
And it's over. And Lexington Christian has come in here to the Buter Gym and knocked off the Knights for only the second time in school history. They beat them last year, 54-44, 19th win of the season for the Eagles. Catholic drops to 18-9 on the season, so LCA now just one win away from a 20-win season, and they'll head into the 43rd district, Coach Cheatham, as the number 1 seed in this tough 43rd district.
Right, great accomplishment for LCA. If you're Lexington Catholic, you have 3 more basketball games to play before tournament even starts. You go right back to the locker room tonight. You get ready for the next game.
54-44, they win by 10. LCA, Trey King is going to be our star of the game. Don't know if we're going to be able to get him or not, but we'll try to. Trey King, our star of the game. 54-44, the victory for the Eagles of Nate Valentine. They win their 19th ball game as they defeat Lexington Catholic. We'll come back with the postgame show and wrap things up here. LCA 54, Lexington Catholic 44.
The Kids Directory is a free resource magazine for families. The February issue features spring break ideas and the birthday party guide. The upcoming March through June issues will feature the popular summer program guide. If you have children, or if you have children among your family and friends, be sure to pick up this monthly magazine at local high-traffic parent areas, or you can view the entire book online at kykidsdirectory.com. The first issue was published in March 2001, so this year marks 14 years of bringing families and local businesses together.
All S, all P, all O, R, T, S. Pick it up at all sports. Pick it up at all sports.
In Fayette Mall on Facebook and Twitter, locally owned and operated since 1972.
Kentucky One Health and St. Joseph East are the preeminent healthcare providers serving the state of Kentucky. Kentucky One Health is the largest and most comprehensive health system in the Commonwealth. They have more than 200 locations, including hospitals, physician groups, clinics, primary care centers, specialty institutes, and home health care. Bringing wellness, healing, and hope to all, that's Kentucky One Health and St. Joseph East. Thanks to sponsors Julie and Tim Hill and Susan and Bill Nybert. Go Eagles.
Here at the Buter Gymnasium on the campus of Lexington Catholic, where tonight LCA has come in here and knocked off the Knights by 10. Second time in school history. LCA has defeated Catholic in basketball, beat them last year. Second win. And tonight a couple guys came up big. I thought Drew Trimble was big tonight, and I thought Trey King was big. And, of course, Matt Rose is Matt Rose.
Matt Rose is Matt Rose. Outstanding play by the entire team. And Valentine's weekend, congratulations to Coach Valentine pulling off the big win. 10-point win at Lexington Catholic is huge for anyone. Lexington Christian tonight secures the number 1 seed in the 43rd district tournament.
If you don't think this was a big win for LCA, just look at the last game Lexington Catholic played. They went over to Richmond and played a really good Allen Feldhouse Madison Central team, beat them 78-73, and Tanner, that man, had 43 points. Tonight he comes in here and LCA clamped down on him big time. I'm not sure we'll get a final stat sheet, but I'll tell you what, I'm not sure that Tanner had 20 points tonight coming off a 43-point effort against Madison Central.
Right, and Matt Rose, that's a lot of credit to his defensive pressure,
Yep.
But they rotated many guards onto Tanner Johnson tonight, did a great job defending him. But you're exactly right, 78 points 2 nights ago, 44 points tonight. It's the same players, it's a different defense. And when you put an intense, focused, disciplined team defense on a group, then you stand the chance to win, and that's exactly what LCA did tonight, taking a team who scored 78 2 nights ago, holding them to 44.
44 points tonight. Great defensive effort. We're waiting for Drew Trimble and Trey King. They're going to come up, our co-stars of the game, and chat with us here very quickly. They're on their way up from the locker room after Coach Valentine talked to them. And how about LCA picking up their 19th win tonight? They're 1 win away. Everybody kind of looks at the season and says, what would be a success? Of course, you get the number 1 seed to 43rd, and you're 1 win away from 20-win season. I'd say it's a pretty successful season.
That's a successful season, and LCA is celebrating tonight. They're excited, but they're really excited about what the future holds. They go into the district tournament strong, healthy, playing the best basketball they've played all season. You're getting quality production from all positions, not just Matt Rose, but their guard play is excellent. Their post play with Trey King is outstanding. Their forward play with Trimble was great tonight. You go into the district tournament, which is just probably the hardest district in the state to win. Let's look, as the number 1, you're going to play either Lafayette, Dunbar, or Tates Creek in the first round. And you lose in the first round, and it's over. So just a tough district.
Let's get our stars of the game in here. And do you want to put one of those that headset on? Is that? I got you. Let's get a headset on Mr. Trimble. And Drew, we were talking about the defense tonight. And, Lexington Catholic had just come off putting 78 up on Madison Central the other night. Tanner Johnson had 43. Is that something you guys took notice of?
Yes, sir. Right. Actually, right after that happened, next day in practice, we all week in practice, we've been just doing defense. We did no offense at all. It's been all defense. We've been doing more 4 defensive, 5 offensive, rotating and trapping and stuff like that. And it's really improved our defense, and we've played a lot harder today in practice, and showed tonight how we defended very well tonight.
Yeah, Drew, your game is really elevated. I mean, you played well in the All-A tournament, but you played well all season. You're 6'8". How does it feel now that you're a senior, knowing that you've knocked off Lexington Catholic twice now in your career? You guys have never done this before last year.
It's something special. We've been playing these guys since 5th grade, and they've beaten us every single year. And it feels good to come in here and get one from. We didn't really get one from. We beat them. Yeah. And it felt really good just to win for these seniors. I know the 6 other guys down there in the locker room are really happy about it, and I'm glad for our younger guys to experience it so they know what to expect.
Everybody knew that Hill was an outstanding guard, but you got to give credit to Schacht and Stein and Davis and those guys, because they have really brought their game up, knowing that what a great guard is, knowing that they don't want you guys to miss him. I mean, you're going to miss him, but I think your guard play has been outstanding.
Yes, sir. I really am happy for those guards. They've really stepped up their game 200% from what I expected in the beginning of the season. With Trevor going down, Trevor is a big part of our ball handling. Yeah. Even Kyle Rhodes stepped up big time for being 8th grade and taking all the responsibility. And Joe, Drew, and John, they've done an outstanding job running our team.
And your fan support, Drew. I mean, your section over there was really fired up about this game. And of course, being the fact that, a lot of them didn't have to drive here. They could literally walk here. That's how close your school is from Lexington Catholic. So it is really, as they say in the South, a good old backyard rival, isn't it?
Yeah, it is really. It's funny because every time we play Catholic, it seems like the week leading up to it, it's crazy. Everybody's on the announcements. Everybody's talking in class about who's going to the game. Yeah. And if you're not going to the game, they make you go to the game. This is a big time rivalry, and I love to play in this type of game.
You had double figures tonight, a double actually. So is that something that you pride yourself in? The first half, you guys were really crashing the offensive boards, especially early in this game. Kind of set the tone really for the game.
Yes, sir. We have this new thing Coach put in this week called the hard work chart. And we chart only hard work plays like diving after the ball, taking charges, offensive rebounding. And after the game, we look at the chart and see how hard we played. And if we have a higher points than the other team, then we have a good chance to win.
How does it feel knowing heading into the 43rd district, you're going to be the number 1 seed in that 43rd district, which is considered one of the best in the Commonwealth?
It's an honor, but we're not done yet. It's still tough. The 4 or 5 games, anybody could win. Anybody can win any of the games in the tournament. And I'm just really blessed to have these group of guys around me, and I love them to death. And this win was for those in the past that haven't had the chance to be in the number 1 seed in the district tournament.
Drew Trimble, I got to ask you, I'm going to go back to that Newport Catholic game. How did, even though it was a tough loss, it went down to the wire, you guys could have easily won that game. How did that game motivate you and your teammates knowing, hey, if we can play with one of the top teams in the state, we can play with anybody?
We, after the game, we knew we could play with them. After the game, we walked in the locker room. We were all pretty torn up about it, even the seniors, because it was our last run at it. But first thing Coach said is, this isn't the last of our season. We still got another half of the season. We got another state tournament to go after. And so that just really got us going. We had some hard days in practice, and we just went hard, and we've been motivated since.
Well, I'm on your bandwagon. I said tonight you can play at the next level. Is that something you desire to do, is play collegiate? I know there's got to be some colleges looking at you now, the way you stepped it up here your senior year.
Yes, sir. I want to further my basketball career next year, so we'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens. Thank you, Drew Trimble.
Thank you.
Let's get Mr. King over here. And he was king tonight as well. I tell you, this young man and prides himself in getting the boards as well. We're talking about Trey King and big 6'6" sophomore, Mr. King. One of your better games tonight. Was it? Do you feel like as you stepped off that floor tonight, this was one of the better games you played?
Yes, sir, most definitely. I feel like today going in that I knew I had to play older and play smarter than I have before, and that I need to grow up, and I feel like I accomplished that today.
How much do you feel you have grown up this year as a player at Lexington?
I feel like I've grown up a lot mentally. Coach just told me before that I can't let the stuff around me affect the game. I just need to stay tuned in and do what I need to do. And I think I did that tonight. Yeah,
you had a great game tonight, particularly staying with it there. You missed some shots, but you stayed with it and stuck it back. I mean, was Catholic giving you something there tonight? Do you think they maybe weren't paying you enough attention? Or what was in your mindset?
I think they did. I don't think they paid enough attention to me to where when I got the ball, I knew I could take him, and I just did it.
That helps when you play with guys like Drew Trimble, Matt Rose, and Kyle Rode, and guys like that, doesn't it?
Yeah, most definitely.
Trey King, one of our stars of the game tonight, 6'6" sophomore. You know, your future is bright. I mean, you're only a sophomore, so you got a couple of more years at LCA. So what are you looking for? You got the last week of the regular season and the tournaments. What is Trey King looking for in these last week of the regular season?
I think I'm looking for me, just playing older and playing like a leader, because when these guys are gone, it's all that's gonna be left is me and Kyle and Trevor, and I think I'm gonna have to step up as a leader and carry my team the way Coach knows I can.
Yeah, well, great game tonight. I was impressed with you, young man. I like the way you carry yourself, and
Thank you very much.
Good luck next week, and good luck in the tournament. You'll be the #1 seed in the 43rd.
Yes, sir. Thank you
Trey
very much.
King, we got Coach Valentine now stepping in here to join us as his Eagles win tonight. And Coach, I know something that you're proud of is the fact that you held a pretty good high-scoring Catholic team to 44 points tonight after they just came off a 78-point effort against Madison Central the other night.
Yeah, that's who we are. You know, unfortunately, it's not pretty and it's not sexy and it's not the up-tempo style of play that a lot of people like to watch. But with this team, we just have so much size and strength inside. You know, we have to control the tempo, and that's where we want to be in the 50s. That's where that's where we want to be. So.
And that's a credit to you and your coaching staff and your players. Everybody on your team has handles. I mean, there isn't one guy on your basketball team that can't handle the basketball. So teams do not want to get in a situation with you with it because all your guys can handle the basketball.
Yeah, I mean, we did a tremendous job, I thought, tonight handling the ball, and you know, all our drives were downhill, and we weren't playing it with anything side to side. And Drew Schott came off the bench and gave us a tremendous lift handling the ball. He was 0 for 2, and you know, looking at the stat sheet, he had 0 assists and 1 turnover. You wouldn't think he had a phenomenal game, but he played really well for us, and you know, just really, really proud of the guys that stepped up off the bench, and Trey King and Drew Schott and Joe Davis and those guys that gave us a boost.
As I asked Drew Trimble there, you don't want to look back at a loss, but the Newport Catholic game in the All-A, I think your ball club came off that court, particularly the seniors, and the way you directed them in that locker room. You said, guys, we got a lot of basketball ahead of us. I think that was a pivotal game because Newport Catholic, in some polls, is as high as #3 in the state, and you played toe-to-toe with them.
You know, we've proven time and time again, and you know, in this tournament, in the manual game, they were #2 or 3 at the time, and if we get a rebound, we beat them. We've got 5 losses. 5 of our 8 losses are by 1 possession. Sometimes, unfortunately, it takes losing to learn those lessons, and I wish we could have done it after 2 or 3, but these guys are finally starting to understand how important every possession is. You know, and it's really hard. You know, it's my first year with these guys, and they're used to playing 100 miles an hour. You know, and I'm really pulling them back, and they're having to pass up open shots, and they're looking at me like I'm crazy. But for the first time, I feel like in the last 2 games, they're actually starting to grasp time and score.
They're having to ratchet it down a little bit, aren't they? Back off the pedal a little bit. But
definitely.
But, Coach, in your first year as the head coach, you are the 43rd District #1 seed. And the 43rd, I don't have to tell you because everybody around the state tells us, considered one of the toughest districts, if not the toughest, in the Commonwealth. So you're #1 seed heading into the Tates Creek 43rd.
Yeah, as far as the tournament goes, I don't think the #1 seed really means anything, to be honest with you. But in terms of this program, when I took this job, a lot of people said, it'd be a good stepping stone job. You can go there and hopefully win a little bit and do good in the All-A and have a chance to move up to one of those big city schools and actually have a chance to win the 43rd district.
That's not your philosophy.
And I knew the team we had coming back that we could do it right away.
Yeah.
And to come in and do that in the first year, and it's nothing to do with me. It's a testament to those seniors and how hard they worked and their will to win and their leadership. Is for Matt Rose to go 4 for 17 from the field and be a leader the way he was on the floor tonight was phenomenal, and that's why he's a big time player.
And I thought Trey King had one of his better games for you. I mean, I just thought the young man was huge. The way he stuck with it after he missed shot, he grabbed him back, and there were 2 Catholic players hanging all over him.
Trey King and Drew Trimble were the key to that game.
Yeah.
Drew got some big buckets for us inside. You look at the stat sheet, he's got nine total rebounds. Trey King, again, first half goes out, gets 3 fouls. And, Trey is very, very fragile. And, in fact, he's only about, I think he's only about 12 years old. He's a sophomore, but he's been held back. He's 14 or 15. But, he can get down on himself. And we just kept saying, hey, you got to be ready second half. Second half, you got to be ready. And you never know when it's going to be called. But he got in there and got us going and was able to score. And, when we put those 3 big guys in there together, we can create some mismatches that are very difficult for people to match up with. And we were able to isolate a couple of those, and Trey was able to cash in. And tremendous credit to him. And Drew Trimble, he handled the ball tonight the way that I thought he could when I took this job. He's very good when he's going downhill towards the rim. And he was doing that tonight and played great and got to the foul line, 7 for 7 from the free throw line. Just very proud of him as well.
Coach, I know you don't look ahead, but I'm going to look at your schedule for you. You have, and that's why Scott Humphreys was sitting in the crowd tonight from GRC. You have them Valentine's night over at Clark County, a good Cardinal team. Monday night, you got a really good Boyle County team at your place, and then you wrap the regular season up next Thursday at Bryan Station. So obviously, some tough tests ahead for LCA, but you wouldn't want it any different here heading into tournaments.
Yeah, absolutely no. This will tell you where I'm at. Absolutely no disrespect to Clark County. But we're sitting in a staff meeting on Monday morning, and somebody said we had a game on Saturday. That's the way you're talking about, And I hadn't even looked past because I knew we had these 2 big district games coming up, and I hadn't even looked past it. And people always asking me who we played the last week of the season, and I couldn't tell you, until today. But yeah, it's a challenging schedule, but that's what you want. To get you ready for a regional tournament.
And I'm going to tell you this because as a coach, you're going to want to know this because they're in your district. Lafayette, the last we heard, they were leading Trinity, one of the top teams in the state. They're really starting to gel. I mean, the Dunbar's starting to gel. Your ball club's solid. We don't have to talk about the 43rd. Everybody knows how good the 43rd district is, and it's going to be a great tournament starting a week from Monday over at Tates Creek. We're looking forward to it. We're going to cover all those games here on WVLK and PrepSpin, so we're looking forward to it.
Very good. There will be no easy games in that.
Thank you, Coach.
Thanks a lot.
Good win tonight, and that's Nate Valentine. We'll come back as LCA gets the win here tonight by 10 over Lexington Catholic. We'll come back and wrap things up here with William Moorfield here on WVLK and PrepSpin after this quick timeout.
All S, all P, all O, R, T, S. Pick it up at all sports. Pick it up at all sports.
In Fayette Mall on Facebook and Twitter, locally owned and operated since 1972.
Kentucky One Health and St. Joseph East are the preeminent healthcare providers serving the state of Kentucky. Kentucky One Health is the largest and most comprehensive health system in the Commonwealth. They have more than 200 locations, including hospitals, physician groups, clinics, primary care centers, specialty institutes, and home health care. Bringing wellness, healing, and hope to all. That's Kentucky One Health and St. Joseph East. Thanks to sponsors Julie and Tim Hill and Susan and Bill Nybert. Go Eagles.
Define the fabric of a team. It's not selfish. It's not boastful. It's about many.
Again, back to wrap it up, Gary Ball, thanks to William Warfield and also to Justin Cheatham on color, and thanks to our stars of the game, Drew Trimble and Trey King, and thanks to Nate Valentine for joining us. The final was 54-44. Lexington Christian gets the number 1 seed in the 43rd District. Join us next week for another big game here on WVLK. Again, we want to thank Terry Murphy, our producer, for William Warfield and Justin Cheatham. This is Gary Ball. The final score, Lexington Christian Academy 54, Lexington Catholic 44. Thanks for watching and listening to the Game of the Week on PrepSpin and WVLK. Have a great evening, everyone.